Hi everybody, this is Joe Salvamini, your principal speaking. Right now we're going to be talking about MiSIS Attendance. When you go into MiSIS, you sign in, you will wind up seeing probably both Bernice Carlson Home Hospital School as well as Bernice Carlson Home School. And you'll see your own school listed down here as well. What you need to select is Bernice Carlson Homeschool. That takes you to your home students. Okay, when you get to your screen, you will be defaulted to this screen over here. And what you want to make sure that you see for attendance purposes is the H over here. The H stands for your homeroom. And you take attendance in the homeroom, and so this is the screen that you will see, and it's very similar to the screen that you see normally in MiSIS. Can we go up to the next one? Now it's important too that you make sure that you are signed in to your name over here, and then the attendance is done for today. It's very, very, very important that you take attendance daily, and attendance must be taken by 11:59 p.m. If for some reason you don't take attendance by 11:59 p.m., then you must call the Carlson office and speak with either Margie Olivares, the assistant principal, or to me, the principal. Okay, now when you go to take attendance, here are your students' names. You'll have either one or two students more than likely. And we have these codes over here. The codes Y, P, A, Z. P means the student was present. You have two drop downs to indicate the type of attendance as well as how many minutes of attendance. So here you've got the student was present for 15 minutes, and the second student was present for 120 minutes. The Y means that no time was scheduled. The Y, when it defaults to the default setting, will only give you a 00. By the way, these are drop downs up here, on the times, and it allows you to input the allowable times for instruction or for recording the instruction. And Y means that the student was not scheduled that day. So you have to take attendance every single day, even if the student was not scheduled for the day. You need to make sure you put in the Y and couple it with the 00. P means the student was present for however many minutes the student was present for. A means the student was absent. You had scheduled the student, but the student was absent for the amount of minutes you say that the student was scheduled for. And Z means that the teacher was absent and you were not able to do instruction. Now remember, if you reschedule the students for a later time that week, then that's just a rescheduling, and that's not counted as a student absence or a teacher absence.
May I also add too, if you are selecting a Z because you missed instruction with the student, that Z should reflect the number of minutes that you were scheduled to see the student that day. So you're not going to be able to do a Z and 0. You're going to do Z and say 100 minutes if you were scheduled to see that student for 100 minutes.
Okay, let's go up. Okay, now now here you have an all setting, and this basically will allow you to see the weekly attendance, and this is really important for you to also understand. One of the things that this does, it will list all of the attendance that was taken for the week, and then it will give you a summary here. The summary will tell you how many minutes the student was present, how many minutes the student was absent, the total teacher absences, and the total weekly minutes that were scheduled. Okay, and so this is where you have to make the accounting, and you can see with this student already has met their requirement for 300 minutes of instruction this week, but this student has not met the 300 minutes total for the week. If for some reason a student does not have at least 300 minutes scheduled for the week, then you go to this drop down over here. And this drop down, it says comments required if less than 300 minutes. On this drop down, this is what you will see. And the reason that the student had fewer than 300 minutes was because either the student was enrolled for less than the entire week, this week was less than a 5-day week. For example, there was a holiday or an unassigned day that week. Incomplete sessions, you started the session with the student, but then the student became ill, or the parent left early or arrived late and you couldn't work with the student for the entire time that day, and so forth. With the other, this is where you need to make, you would select other, but the actual comment needs to be made on your backup register, which is the weekly schedule, the actual weekly schedule. Okay, and is there anything else?
Yes, I want to add that a few problems that people have encountered at this point, it's going to be fixed eventually, is that you may see your students from your school that you work at during the day mixed in with Carlson students. So what's really important is that if you notice that happening, come up to where you see the multiple tabs, and then you may notice, if you're a middle school teacher, you may have 2 homerooms. If you click on one homeroom, you'll see your Carlson students. If you click on the other homeroom, you'll see your other students, and so on. So if you run into that problem, that's what you do. The other problem that people notice is that if you go and you see that the drop down doesn't have the Y, P, A, or Z, and all you see is P, A, T, you are logged into the wrong school. You need to log into Carlson Home, not Carlson Hospital Home.
Okay, thank you.